Hello everyone, this is your host, Mr. Puffles. Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at Rev Says Desu's channel, as we're going to be going over some videos about a very interesting and specific company that worked on a very well notorious and hated game known as Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Let's take a look.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So today we're going to be talking about the company Sweet Baby Inc., who finds themselves mired in controversy for multiple reasons. Now, who is Sweet Baby Inc.? Well, they are a consulting group for gaming companies where they provide design, script writing, consultation, and more. Now, looking at the description, the about section of their website, you can understand why people use the term woke to describe their actions. So, founded in 2018,
Okay, here we go. Okay, off to such a very interesting start. This is... Oh, wow. Yeah, I always hate hearing stuff about woke bullshit. God. And just seeing how it's being brought into games, oh, great. No wonder some games have become complete shit. Especially with Suicide Squad having a total failure.
Sweet Baby Inc. is a narrative development and consultation studio based in Montreal and working around the globe. Our mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video games industry. We
Tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching video game industry. Oh, God. Really? Really? Okay. How about I take a look on my other monitor and see what games you guys have worked on? Script writing for Suicide Squad. How'd that turn out? It's dead. What else? God of War Ragnarok, it's God of War. I really wouldn't see that, honestly. Goodbye Volcano High, that was a complete flop. That game was a complete flop and a shit show to take a look at. Oh my god. The Crew Motorfest, never heard of that. I know about the Crew, but I never heard of that game. Alan Wake 2. I really don't know. I never played that or seen any gameplay. I hope it's not bad. I really hope. I even wanted to play Alan Wake 2, but... Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Breeze in the Clouds, usual... What? I have no idea what that game is. Battle Shapers, never heard of it. Spider-Man 2, story consultation. Oh, God. I really heard that story is quite bad, especially with what some of the things Spider-Man can say. Oh, it's so cringy. It's very cringe-worthy. Sable, never heard of it. Clients. You got Xbox, Electronic Arts, EA, Valve, True Santa Monica Studios, never heard of you. 2K, Ubisoft, Square Enix, Warner Bros. You killed off Rocksteady with your last game. You really killed it. Wizards of the Coast? Wizards of the What? Wizards of the Coast is for literally Magic the Gathering. How do you have this? What? Wizards of the Coast. That is literally the main thing for Magic the Gathering Battlegrounds. Or just Magic the Gathering in general. The card game. But honestly, I've never heard of a majority of these companies. Avalanche Studios, no. Brass Lion, no. Not really familiar with them. Glitch Games, no. I want to say PR Remedy or just R Remedy. I have no idea. Raw Fury, Fellow Traveler, no. Echo, Juvie Production, no. People Can Fly, no. I've never heard of any of these. I'm not sure who's supposed to be after Co-op, but Rocksteady, Polytron, or not, but Polytron and Finji, I don't think I've heard of them. But Rocksteady, Warner Brothers, up to Xbox. Well, actually, no, I've not heard of True Love or Santa Monica Studio. I'm not familiar with those two. But any of the other ones, that's not the big ones, I've never heard of them. I've never heard of any of their companies. But I'm pretty sure that they also worked on the remaster for Saints Row, if I'm correct. But if that's so, that's also another dead game. So, yeah, there's that. So let's continue onwards.
Aim to make games more engaging, more fun, more meaningful, and more inclusive for everyone. Yes, like I said, the word woke is pretty on point for their about section here. But before you start thinking, oh, who is Sweet Baby Inc., well, they are involved with a lot of big companies in the gaming industry. Here is a list of their clients, and when you look around and see some of the names listed and the fact that this company started in 2018, it's adding up, isn't it? Why a lot of these companies have gone downhill since they started working with Sweet Baby Inc. Now, why are they in trouble? Well, it begins with this user named Cabrutus, who did some very honest work by creating a Steam group called Sweet Baby Inc. Detected.
Huh.
This is as simple as it gets. All this does is collect the titles that Sweet Baby Inc. is working on. So players know that it's been affected by the consultation and other services provided by this company that people have a lot of concerns about. And as you can see, as the time of this video, they have well over 6,000 members in the Steam group, the result of the Streisand effect, as we will talk about later in this video. So we begin with this individual named Chris Kindred. This would be the start of a harassment campaign that Chris and other members of Sweet Baby Inc. would launch against the users and creators of that Steam group. So this individual is a narrative designer for Sweet Baby Inc. As you can see, despite having 18,000 followers on Twitter, their account is now private after facing backlash for this tweet and some others we're going to look at right now. So they began with some screenshots of the Steam group, and they have this tweet stating, "The Steam curator harassment group Sweet Baby Inc. Detected is led by this person," and provides the @ of the Twitter user. Here's them trying to be slick so they don't get reported. Even with the discriminatory language filed off, the group itself still fails the code of conduct. Wow, that is some hall monitor behavior right here.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing hall monitor energy right here. I'm definitely seeing that. Like this person, Chris Kendrick, this person literally wants to try and take down this person's Steam group. Wow. Wow.
But of course, what they're doing right here is targeted harassment. Okay, they're worried about what these users are doing in the Steam group, yet when you make call out posts like this with a direct @ that is violating, or most likely violating, Twitter's rules against targeted harassment. I mean, it's really as simple as that. If you're putting an actual @ and then directing people towards them, what else does that look like? Well, they would go further and say this. Anyway, report the F out of this group with a direct link to this Steam community. And they went further by saying, and report the creator since he loves his account so much.
You can't get any worse than this. Hi, buddy boy. Hi, buddy. Oh my god. No way this woman is doing this shit. No way. You can't make this shit up. Wow. You can't make this up. This is so bad. Wow, that is literally targeting harassment on this guy and his own Steam group. Wow. That is that is literally targeting him for harassment. Like all their followers. Who knows how many this person has? But wow, this is so bad. This is just downright despicable and deplorable. It's awful. Oh god.
Well, if you weren't convinced this is a targeted harassment campaign led by this Sweet Baby Inc. employee, you should be sure now, because that's exactly what this looks like, and it's not a very good look for them. And it reflects a lot of the other people we've seen, like in the anime and manga localization scene, where people just feel very, very comfortable making these outrageous posts attacking players and other users because they disagree with something they said, because they've been in an echo chamber for so long where this behavior's been tolerated. But it would continue in the replies where someone said, in quotes, "those who try to corrupt our beloved hobby," where Chris would reply saying, like, you don't have anything else to be doing with your time, which is very ironic for someone making a call-out thread like this, because that Steam community group simply listed off the games you're working on, where this user would reply with this burn saying, "you work for a company that forces your Western values onto the work of people outside your country. Maybe you're the one who needs something else to do with your time. Culture, colonists."
Ooh. Now that's a sick burn right there. Goddamn. But yeah, forcing your values onto the work of people outside of your country. Yeah, this is what people do not want to see when it comes to games. Having shit like this forced on them. Gamers do not want to see that. It is sickening and it's so annoying. Why else did the Suicide Squad game fail? Or any of the other games fail because it is literally forcing other values into their work. I mean, I'm not entirely sure about all the stuff that went down, but even then, if a company is going to force certain things into a game when others don't want this, there's a good chance it's going to fail and just die. Like, there's a good chance that the game is just going to fail immediately.
Dang. Well, continuing, we would get another person who would be added to the fray named Felix at Home. And honestly, Felix should have stayed home and not joined.
Remember this person's name. Remember this name. So good. Because there's 2 more videos of Rev that we have to get through. Just remember this name. Felix at Home at Lego Butts. Remember this.
In on this conversation, because this would make things much worse. So they had a screenshot of this Steam group, and they said, for example, at Steam doesn't have guidelines for curators, as far as I can tell, that would prevent someone from starting a curation group that focuses on, say, Sweet Baby Inc. and warns people to not buy games they're associated with, which could just list any game at all. Well, there's many problems, as you'll see in this sweet community note. The community notes on Twitter, once again, doing some very great work. But let's start with this. Let me ask you, if this is such a problem, I don't really understand where you're coming from, because
I don't
if you're
understand it
making
either.
good games and your company is respected, you wouldn't be worried about a group like this announcing the games you're working on. But because you have a bad reputation, people are using this service to identify other products that your company has worked on so they know to avoid them. Because a lot of people have been complaining about titles that have used this consulting group and other services that they provide. Now, the community note really dissects everything that Felix was trying to say. So it starts off by saying the curator uses Sweet Baby Inc.'s website for their source, combating this claim that you could just list anything you wanted, according to Felix, And then down here, it also notes that this person is someone who works for Sweet Baby Inc., which is not a shocker. But let's see their website. This is Sweet Baby Inc.'s website. You can go on there. This is publicly available. These are the titles that they're working on. And it's not surprising any company working in this capacity is going to do everything they can to list off and show off the games that they're working on, or at least a part of in some way. That's just standard. But people are saying, well, now we have this publicly available source to see the games you're working on, and we're going to make a list of them on the Steam group so you guys know when this company is working on a game you might be interested in. I think that's a valuable service to a lot of people. And like I said, if you had a good product, people would not care. They wouldn't have to make groups like this to track what games Sweet Baby Inc. is working on. But as stated in the community note as well, this individual, Felix at Home, is someone who is a contributor, a consultant for Sweet Baby Inc. So it's hardly surprising to see that they have a bit of a bias in the situation, and they're, of course, supporting this harassment campaign against the people who created this Steam group in the first place. But going forward, Grums actually had something to say in several tweets, but this one being the most forward. It's claiming that this Felix individual is someone who's been a part of cancel culture for a long time and was Zoe Quinn's PR person. This takes us way back, ladies and gentlemen, to some older times on the internet. A lot of people have been calling the recent situation with a lot of users combating censorship very vocally. A lot of the people who are worried about that, a lot of like anime localizers, for example, they're trying to frame all this recent stuff as Gamergate 2. Well, here's some names from the original Gamergate debacle, and we're seeing these people still involved in the industry and still causing problems and launching cancellation and harassment campaigns against people who are criticizing them, or in this case, simply listing off the products that they're working on. And based on everything we've seen throughout this video, is it really that much of a leap to say that Grum's tweet here might be onto something? They might be actually sharing something that did happen. But moving forward, Chris couldn't help themselves by saying, oh, this is effing normal. At Steam, y'all gonna do anything about this, or, which with a quote of Felix's tweet, of course. And eventually Felix would make another tweet saying it's doubled in followers overnight, referring to the amount of people involved with this Sweet Baby Inc. detected group. And they say, we get to see exactly what people are describing it as, a way to avoid inclusivity. They're just saying it, and there's no one challenging them. That isn't a complaint, it's just a fact. And I can't stay quiet about it, nor should I have to. No, I don't think you understand the main crux of what everyone is upset about. It's the fact that based on the experience of a lot of people who have played games that you have been contributing to, that is a negative contribution, and it brings down the quality of a game or a beloved IP that you have gotten involved in that historically had a much better perception among gamers and the general community. But this idea of saying, oh no, it's doubled in followers, I believe at this point it's tripled or even quadrupled. And yeah, that's called the Streisand effect. It's something we've covered a lot on this channel, where someone finds a very small problem for themselves, complain about it very aggressively, and generate a lot of attention to that thing they're complaining about. And in cases like this, the thing that they're complaining about is something a lot of people are interested in, and they might not have found in the first place if it wasn't for the people complaining about it, like Felix and these other employees from Sweet Baby Inc. And now people are finding the service, and they're finding out more titles that this company is working on. This whole harassment campaign that these employees have launched in the name of Sweet Baby Inc. have only driven more people to discover the misdeeds of this company, the games they're working on, and the types of employees that are working at companies like this. And it's a very bad look, not only for themselves, but also their company. And it's, again, in effect, the Streisand effect. We've seen it happen on my channel when a VTuber or a content creator, an artist or something like that is getting canceled for really stupid reasons, and that cancellation attempt ends up boosting the engagement of that person and draws in a lot of people seeing someone getting unfairly canceled, and then they rally behind that person. And that's exactly what's happening today with this Steam group. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully that group stays up, by the way.
Yeah, that little bit what he mentioned with a VTuber being canceled and whatnot. Yeah, that actually happened recently by a interesting creator by the name of Doki Bird, and got recently fired from Niji Sanji a while back in February, if I'm correct. Yeah, sometime around mid-February or around 3 weeks into February, and so much has gone on for Doki Bird that the company of Niji Sanji is downright terrible for what they've done. Like, completely denying so many things that she tried to get going when she was working with Niji Sanji, and oh my god. The harassment as well, almost committing unaliving herself. Oh my god, Niji Sanji was in so much shit. It was bad. It was really bad. Especially when I saw the video from Rev about this stuff going on. Now we got Sweet Baby Inc. attacks gamers exposing their woke agenda. And honestly, let's just see how this one goes.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rev here. So recently there's been a very big movement against the company Sweet Baby Inc. Now today we're going to go over some very explosive updates regarding that company. But yesterday we talked about them and some of the initial drama that started with their company. And to sum that up in a minute before we get into the new stuff, basically Sweet Baby Inc. is a consulting firm for the video game industry. And you can see from their about section using terms like empathetic stories and diversification to describe their goals. You understand that they're woke, and a lot of what they're doing is injecting woke nonsense into the companies and games that they're partnering with. And you can see from their client list, they have gotten very deep into the industry despite only being around since 2018. You can see some of the names, very big companies. And here is a list of the games that they have worked on. And this is something, again, listed.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you would call this one. I need to look at Steam and see how it's pronounced. But yeah, this game I have not heard of. This one I've not heard of. I know of the crew, never seen this game before. Never heard of Sable. I know about Spider-Man, but like I said, story and like dialogue at times, it can be cringy. This is just downright shit. This was absolutely awful and completely buggy, if I'm remembering that correctly. Like, at one point during the game, I saw someone playing it, or I watched a video of someone playing through the entire thing of Goodbye Volcano High, and this was completely buggy. Like, seriously unplayable at one random point. Like, way later on. It was completely unplayable. This game, never heard of. Never heard of you. Never heard of you. God of War. It's God of War. And Alan Wake 2. Yeah.
On their website, and a lot of people have looked at this list and said, yep, that makes sense. That's why a lot of these games are failures, because they have a bunch of woke nonsense in them, and that can be traced back to an identifiable source now, and that is Sweet Baby Inc. So in response to this revelation a lot of people have had about this company, a Steam group was created called Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, and all this group does is track those publicly listed games that Sweet Baby Inc. has worked on, that is also shared on their website. And
you know, since I am saying that Suicide Squad's basically dead, let's see how many players are on it. Suicide Squad. Killed the Justice League. 414. Oh, 356 right now. 411 was their 24-hour peak. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? 414 for 411 for 24 hours and 356 playing right now. Why are people playing this garbage? Oh my god. Because I even seen other YouTubers playing it. I even seen who I usually go to for interesting game reviews is Angry Joe Show. And oh my god. It's disgusting.
It provides this to people so they know what games Sweet Baby Inc. is working on, so they can consider that before they make the purchase. Now, in response to this, about 2 days ago, multiple employees of Sweet Baby Inc. went on a tirade on Twitter, including this user who led an entire harassment campaign against the creators of the group and demanded that their followers report this group and its creator. You can see also this Felix at Home individual with the @LegoButts as their username would also join in on this, trying to get this Steam group taken down. Now, of course, this had the Streisand effect, where they're complaining about this Steam group only increased awareness of this group, and it has exploded in popularity and now has over 60,000 followers.
Wow, that's very interesting. 61,000 followers. Oh, wow. It's on its way to 70K. You know what? Let's actually take a look. Let me just put Steam off to the side. I want to take a look and see how many followers there actually are now. Okay. Just give me a moment here while I try and find it. Alright, I have found it. Sweet Baby Inc. Today is March 6th. We have 72,606 people. Wow. And what do we have throughout all these games that they have worked on? Tales of Kenzera Zao, Neocab, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Honestly, I was really hoping to get that game. Let's see. After Love EP, Gotham Knights. Isn't that another game that completely bombed so hard? Let me check. Gotham Knights. Yeah, 477, 403. Oh, 432 for the 24-hour peak. Wow. And it's 24,000 all-time peak. That's bad. I haven't seen any kind of review on it or anyone's specific player or YouTubers take on it. But Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance. Ooh, that is... I think I've seen something like that. Oh, wait, right. Angry Joe. Yeah, I've actually seen his Dark Alliance video, and it was bad. It was garbage. It was literally so bad. Like, wow. Oh, Usual June. Okay, that's how you say it. Okay, yeah. Usual June, okay.
And is growing by thousands every single hour. And I ended yesterday's video with this tweet from Grumps, who has been around the related industries for a very long time. And he started making a connection between this current situation with Sweet Baby Inc. and Gamergate and some of the active participants in that. And as it turns out, he was entirely correct. So, Gamergate, in a very quick and sloppy summary, basically it was a movement exactly 10 years ago where a group called Feminist Frequency started a movement where they were trying to inject their woke agenda into the video game industry.
And how did that turn out? Completely awful. People do not want to see woke agenda being brought into games forcefully because it's not something that many gamers would want to see. It's definitely something people do not want to be seeing a lot. It's awful.
This grift got so far that its leaders, Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn, spoke before the United Nations. Looking at this picture, there is no picture that captures two more useless groups than Feminist Frequency and the United Nations. But eventually the grift ran dry, and Feminist Frequency shuts down. But little do we know that the people who were involved with that movement and its supporters would entrench themselves deep within the video game industry over the past couple of years. And they did it in a way that was not very upfront, and it went behind, basically in the shadows, and people didn't know about this for years until now. And remember this Lego Butts user account here.
Remember what I said?
This is one of the people trying to tell their followers to report and take down the Sweet Baby Inc. detected group on Steam. Well, a lot of people have traced that user to direct participants in Gamergate, including Zoe Quinn. This was something that Alex would talk about, and he would highlight the connection from way back in 2014 to as recent as only a few weeks ago, and he also highlights the truly disturbing behavior that these people openly celebrate.
See, here's a tweet from 2014, not 10 years ago, where Felix at LegoButts decided to at Zoe, saying, "We exploded their site, OMG us." Zoe responds with, "At LegoButts, oops, we DDoSed something on accident." What they mean is, they were having a conversation about a website called the Fine Young Capitalists. This was back in the Gamergate days. And by doing so, they basically sent pretty much all of their ilk to that website, basically just DDoSing that website inadvertently by having that conversation. In fact, here is Zoe Quinn admitting to that from the previous deleted tweets that she made earlier. Number 4, the DDoS was nothing other than shitty infrastructure on their part, being unable to handle the traffic from Twitter's convo about them.
Isn't DDoSing basically a crime? Yeah, even if it were true, why is it her fault? What the fuck? What does it have to do with feminism? P.S. You willingly fucked guys who were married or were already in a relationship. This is a person claiming feminism. But either way, isn't DDoSing anyone just a complete blatant crime? I'm pretty sure that's a crime.
Ah, yes. Let me go ahead and use my large platform to talk about people and blame it on their infrastructure rather than anything else. So going back to the original post, we can see that LegoButts at Felix at Home has direct ties to Zoe Quinn, who also had direct ties to Anita Sarkeesian, who also worked on Feminist Frequency, and now is directly working with Sweet Baby Inc.
So I think after seeing that evidence, it is very clear that there is a very present connection between the employees of Sweet Baby Inc. and some of the participants of Gamergate. Now, speaking of those participants, you have people like LegoButts here, and a lot of people have been dredging up their tweets, including recent ones from only a few weeks ago like this, which states, "I usually get grossed out when straight, white, rich people kiss, but even I think those two are pretty cute." I mean, first of all, like, what is this? Uki Violetta's burner account or something? Like, what's going on here? But there's been a lot of other tweets people have been looking at from this Sweet Baby Inc. employee, including this one, in quotes, saying, "I'm so mad because they killed the billionaire who turned evil that I'm going to show how racist I am," end quote, is honestly a pretty funny take to have.
First off, one, how the fuck does it show how racist you are for killing the billionaire who turned evil? The last ever performance of the late Kevin Conroy. How does it show how racist you are? It does not. It does not show how racist you are. It shows nothing of racism or anything of the sort. It clearly does not. It was literally the one scene where you kill Batman, and that's Kevin Conroy's last ever performance. And honestly, it was wasted on this shill of a game. This downright awful pile of shit. A complete failure of a game that has to be a live service game, no less. And we all know how live service games are going to be ending up, especially when, oh, there's so much to talk about that pile of shit.
Now, this is a reference, of course, to the final scene of Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League.
Yeah, wasting Kevin Conroy's last performance like this just sucks bad. Yeah, it truly does.
Now, the reason people were upset about this scene had nothing to do with billionaires or racism or anything like that. People were very disappointed by this game as a whole, but particularly this scene, because the lines delivered by Batman were the final lines delivered by the now late Kevin Conroy, who is considered the voice of Batman, someone who is beloved within the related franchises. And that's why people were upset, because they felt like his final lines of his career were wasted
And they
on
were.
a bad product. However,
They were wasted.
Let's talk about Suicide Squad some more. This was an absolute failure of a game where even Warner Brothers has come out and said basically lesser companies would have gone bankrupt based on how badly this game is performed. Now, of course, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is one of the games listed on Sweet Baby Inc.'s page as one of the games that they have worked on. Things are starting to add up, aren't they? Which leads us to another person we haven't talked about, another employee of Sweet Baby Inc., the CEO right here, Kim Belair, who has a very, very interesting history. It's a Gundam did a really good rundown in his recent video about her. I'll put a link to that in the description. But basically, she is the definition of woke nonsense. She has been pushing that stuff for years very publicly. And also, she has a very bizarre self-insert problem where she's constantly self-inserting herself into stories that she's working on. Kind of makes sense when you see this whole situation.
Okay. I've only seen some good games where people have actually put themselves in as a self-insert, and it was actually good. Such as, big example for me would be the Iga Strikes Back DLC for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, where you go up against the best dev for Bloodstained, Iga. He is the strongest boss, a secret boss, no less. And yet, that would be the first ever time I've seen anyone having a self-insert into a game, besides Pokemon, where there's employees. Besides Pokemon, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night done it perfectly with Iga. And it was fantastic. It was just fantastic.
Comes to things like narcissism, which is very present throughout this company. But anyways, her connection is established by this quote retweet by Ricky here, where a member of Rock...
Do excuse me for a moment, everyone. Alright then, let's carry on.
Rocksteady Games is arguing because Rocksteady Games is the company behind Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and he is trying to basically say, well, we worked with Sweet Baby Inc., but they didn't have that much of an impact on our story and what we were doing, where Ricky would point out tweets that show the exact opposite, including this interaction between this Rocksteady employee and Kim Belair, where he says, after 11 years in this industry, I finally did it. A black character on the front of a AAA game. Dreams come true, y'all. Which, by the way, is the most astroturfed, ridiculous achievement I've ever seen in my life.
What?
Because in order to do this, they basically took the character Deadshot and made him black for no reason at all. So it's already a weird way to achieve this goal he's going after, but also this is a straight up lie. Everyone knows you could easily find dozens of titles that have black characters on the front of AAA titles. Like,
yeah,
what is
that's
this guy
true.
talking about?
That's
But
true.
you see Kim down here praising this tweet.
Yeah.
And responding to that, this employee of Rocksteady Games says, so glad you were present to help mold his character, Kim. Didn't have an impact, huh? I think it's very obvious based on this exchange that Sweet Baby Inc. had an impact on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I think it's very obvious based on this exchange, as well as the overall direction of the game and some of the choices that Rocksteady Games made. Now, this individual from Rocksteady Games has been fighting in the trenches with two very conflicting goals. On the one hand, trying to praise Sweet Baby Inc. for helping out their game and making great choices, but on the other hand, trying to downplay their contributions to save face on Twitter. Obviously, this isn't working very well, and also I can think of nothing more poetic than this screenshot right here. So currently, there are more people connected online in the Sweet Baby Inc. curator group than there are for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Oh, yeah.
Ouch. That is very embarrassing for a AAA title, which, by the way,
Very
only
embarrassing.
released a month ago. So the fact that they're down to around 500 in-game players is very, very bad. And this really just captures
It's really awful. And do excuse me once more. My apologies. All right, let's move on.
the movement right now, okay? People are saying no to the woke nonsense and the bad titles like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and they are rallying behind this Sweet Baby Inc. detected group because it captures the concerns of a lot of gamers that they've been having for years, but now they have an identifiable source that they can link to these problems with the games that they've been consuming over the past couple of years. But moving forward, this probably doesn't surprise anyone at all, but there has been claims that members of Sweet Baby Inc. and their supporters have been leaving some very interesting reviews and posts on this community page for the Sweet Baby Inc. detector. Now, this wouldn't be very surprising if there was some involvement from Sweet Baby Inc. because let's face it, a lot of the people from the Gamergate movement have made false
Ah, yes, Brianna Wu makes green light thread harassing herself, deletes when she realizes she's still logged on as dev. Ah, yes, I did actually hear about this, yes. This was something I did hear about. Brianna Wu completely trying to badmouth herself, her own game, but yet fucks up and realizes she's still logged in as the developer. And so many people clowned on her for that idiotic move. And yet, she's still fucked up. She fucked up badly with that move. Oh my god, it's funny.
posts all the time. Who could forget this one from Brianna Wu, who was a member of Feminist Frequency, who made this tragic tweet trying to garner sympathy, saying that she was being attacked and her game was getting review bombed by angry men and things like that. Well, unfortunately for her, she never logged out of her developer account. So when she posted the screenshot, it made it very obvious that she was writing her own hate comments. Yeah, that was embarrassing. But let's read some of these discussions on the Sweet Baby Inc. detector page. So this person says, let's diffuse this situation. I know this group claims it isn't trying to kill Sweet Baby Inc., but this is exactly what will happen if you don't stop now. Not all SBI employees are as unreasonable as that one random person on Twitter. They have actual jobs and families to support. It's not like they are hurting anybody. Please consider closing this group. Here's another one saying, if you are against Sweet Baby Inc., you are racist.
Okay. Who the fuck decided to make this? Oh my god. No. This right here? Just all this. If you're if you're against SBI, you're racist. Really? Really? Is that what people think? Is that what this person thinks? Is that what anyone else who's with them think? No. No. Okay? No. If you're against SBI, then you don't like what they are doing. It doesn't make you racist. That's so wrong.
Sweet Baby Inc., and of course it just describes their mission statement.
Oh
It
my
says down
God.
here, SBI is only dedicated in the story part of the game. They don't work on the gameplay. So my question for the anti-SBI people is why you think SBI ruins games. Isn't gameplay the important part of a game after all? Oh my.
Oh god. No. No. Gameplay is not the important part of a game. If you want people to get deeply involved in a specific game, here's what you need. Gameplay, setting, story, lore, good characters, development with said characters, just basically a good story. Story is also important. When I play specific games, even if it's a fighting game, I want to know about the story. Like, a good example of this, because even though that the developers completely fucked up this game entirely, I still hate for what they did. But Skullgirls. Skullgirls is a really good game to basically make an example of. Since not only is the gameplay interesting, I mainly focused on the story and lore of it. But even then, like I said, the developers already fucked up the game, so I only focused on the main story with the main characters and cast, not the DLC. I couldn't care about it. I mean, I would have if the game stayed to what it was, but, guess... guess that can't happen. But that's something I'm not even gonna go on about. That topic does not deserve my breath. So many people have already covered the entirety. I would give my biggest recommendation to watch some Fat Otaku's video on the Skullgirls situation that has occurred. And yeah, just talking about Skullgirls with what happened with the company and whatnot, I'm not doing that. It does not deserve my breath. So let's carry on.
My God, this person is the least obvious Sweet Baby Inc. employee. But they go on to say the truth is you hate SBI only because they add diverse characters, people of color, non-binary, etc. Anything else is just a cheap excuse. Your curator list is as racist as if you made a list of all games with black people in it.
Okay. Let's go back to what we see. Goodbye Volcano High, Battle Shapers, Suicide Squad, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Kingdom 80s, Shadow Gambit, The Cursed Crew, Gotham Knights, Sable, Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance, NeoCap. I really don't see it that way. I really don't. This person right here does not know what the hell they're talking about. They are saying so much shit out of their ass they don't know a damn thing. They don't.
This group is against Steam rules and should be taken down. Hopefully the moderation acts quickly.
It's not against Steam rules.
Here's one more very short and
It's
sweet
not.
message saying video games are not for right-wingers. So
Okay. Let me stop you right here, dumbass. Let me stop you right there. Video games are not for right-wingers? Okay, jackass. Okay. I'm only gonna say this once, and only once, because I feel it's necessary. How retarded do you have to be to say something so idiotic like this? Just how retarded do you have to fucking be? And yet the comment under it says it all. Sorry guys, you're not the audience companies care about, nor the side that creates video games. Otherwise you would not need to create groups like this. Oh my god, someone please. Oh, wait. This comment under it humbles him. And let's read it together. Video games are for all people, regardless of their social or political beliefs. That right there. That comment right there says it all. And it doesn't matter if you're left or right wing, people will make games and play games no matter where they stand. This comment right here? This discussion right here? No, you are absolutely brain dead. You are brain dead if you had to think that. Like, seriously? Wow.
Sorry guys, you're not the audience companies care about, nor the side that creates video games. Otherwise, you would not need to create groups like this. Also, there's a lot of people on Twitter defending Sweet Baby Inc. Like this tweet saying, you got to admit that you're weird with this.
Oh yes, here it is. The the remaster of Saints Row. Well, remaster and Mortal Kombat. Oh god. You know, I was even wanting to get Mortal Kombat, but even then, I think I'll just stick with getting only up to, what was it? Yeah, MK11. This whole new Mortal Kombat with how it is now. Oh god, it's bad. It just no. Just no. I mean, I can see why they want to keep going, as well as with the guest stars of Omni-Man. Oh god, who else did they add in? I can only remember seeing Omni-Man and like Homelander, I want to say. I think Quan Chi or Shinnok. I want to say Quan Chi. But even then, it's bad. It's not, it doesn't feel the same compared to previous Mortal Kombat games. Especially with the characters as well. It just doesn't feel right. I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be a whole retelling of the first Mortal Kombat, but even then, it doesn't feel like it. I don't feel like it's good. I mean, hell, let me take a look at how it even is. Let's see, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 1. Yeah, 69 fucking bucks. Or 70 bucks. Jesus. Oh yeah, Havoc, Shang Tsung. Okay, it wasn't Quan Chi. No, my mistake. Quan Chi is in it. You have to purchase Chameleon? The fuck? Oh yeah, Peacemaker 2. Tremor cameo. Havoc, Shang Tsung. Even then, it's bad. We got mixed reviews. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, God. Okay. There's one review that I really want to read off. Let's see. MK1 is a step up from MK11, but we're never going to get back to the heights of MKX or anything pre-WB acquisition. Is the game alright? I guess so. Is it worth your price? Don't think so. Will Mortal Kombat be good ever again? Nope. This is it. This is the high bar. Also, I think Sweet Baby Inc. should fuck off. That's right, liberals don't like them either. There's a huge difference between exclusivity, or not exclusivity, but inclusivity, and woke. And woke already leads to shitty writing. Oh boy. Yeah. It's bad. It's bad with the writing.
Sweet Baby stuff because they're pointing out the games they're working on. Again, I think you're weird if you're someone in a hobby like this and you don't care about these things. You let people walk all over your hobby and you're just going to sit there and take it. No, if you voice your concerns and track the bad actors in your hobby, I think you're doing the right thing. And obviously the impact is getting to Sweet Baby Inc., who is scrambling right now.
Sweet Baby in full panic mode deletes the tweets showing their efforts to cancel Sweet Baby Inc. Detective Steam group. Oh, God. Wow, they're in full panic.
To delete inflammatory posts made by their employees. And it's just making it even more obvious that there is a very big PR nightmare going on over there. And they're aware that the mask is slipping and people are starting to understand the full scope of the scene and all of the issues going on here, which is many in the video game industry, and the impact that Sweet Baby Inc., its members, its supporters, that they're having on the gaming industry. People now know an identifiable source of a lot of the problems that gamers have been dealing with for years now, which really can stem back all the way to the original Gamergate, and the pattern is very obvious, and the players are becoming more and more known. But that's going to do it for this video.
That... this is what gamers do not want to be seeing in games. This is the shit people don't want to see. This is probably also why Forspoken also just bombed so hard, because of the writing. It was so ass. And then we got Rev's recent video of Sweet Baby Inc. is finished. Let's take a look. Actually, do give me a quick moment. Just for a quick few minutes. And then we will get started. Okay, let's take a look.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So today we're getting the third installment of the Sweet Baby Inc. trilogy on this channel, because somehow the employees of that company have managed to make the situation even worse. And before we get into today's explosive updates, let's quickly remind ourselves how we got here. So Sweet Baby Inc. is a consulting firm in the video game industry known for injecting a lot of woke nonsense into the...
Posts are protected. Only followers can see them.
projects that they've worked on. And despite only starting in 2018, their client list includes a lot of major studios in the industry, and a user on Steam, as a result, created a group called Sweet Baby Inc. Detector that simply tracks the games that this company has worked on. And after discovering this group, recently some of the employees of Sweet Baby Inc. launched a harassment campaign against this Steam group as well as its creators. Because apparently the thing that makes them most scared in the world as Sweet Baby Inc. is players discovering what games they've worked on. Well, that was the story up until now. Here is the latest update. The page, the Steam group, has now reached over 100,000 followers as reported by its creator, Kabrutus, here on Twitter. A very big accomplishment showing how much people are rallying behind this whole situation. And here's an update from one of the employees behind the harassment campaign. This was a tweet made quickly before they took a hiatus on Twitter. It said, "I don't care about somebody disagreeing with the company. I care that this is an extension of targeted harassment campaign against me and my peers." Well, I guess it takes one to know one when it comes to a harassment campaign, because this was one of the main people behind the harassment campaign trying to report and harass the creator of the Steam group and the Steam group page itself. Well, here's an update on that user. They have been locked out of their Twitter account for a week because...
Yeah, just remember, this was your doing, not mine. They got my ass. I'm guessing a few hundred gamers reported me. Let's see. What happened? We determined that you have violated the X rules, so we temporarily limited some of your account features. While in the state, you can still browse X, but you're limited to only sending direct messages to your followers, no posts, reposts, follows, or likes. Your account will be restored in a week. This is what this dumbass gets. This is what you get when you just launch a targeted harass campaign.
Whoa, who would have guessed? Launching a targeted harassment campaign against another user would violate Twitter's rules against targeted harassment.
Exactly.
So here they are on Blue Sky crying about getting suspended, which is a place where every person goes when they're getting bodied on Twitter. They go over to Blue Sky where no one's going to see it because nobody's using that app. But moving forward, there's another individual who has injected himself into this situation, and a lot of people are clowning on this guy named Grant K. Roberts. He made this tweet responding to all the criticism that Sweet Baby Inc. has been facing recently, saying, "The cool thing about liking video games is that you can go play video games instead of joining a weird cult and being wrong about everything."
Cult? What? What? Cult? What? I'm sorry. What cult is he talking about? Is he talking about Sweet Baby Inc. Detected? That's not a cult. That's a way of figuring out, oh, this is a game I'm not getting. Okay. Watch out for this game. Watch out for that one. Here's some projects they're going to be doing, so watch out for them. I see. Okay, fair enough.
Wow, that's very disparaging against gamers. I wonder what company he's worked with. Oh, Sweet Baby Inc. Who would have known? Yeah, it's ironic that this guy who embodies wokeness would talk about gamers being in a cult. I mean, just look at his bio, for example. Like, this guy's telling you about cults? Come on now. But here are some of the responses. This is not like a selected group or a curated list of responses. This is just the top replies I saw to his tweet. And they say everything that I'm going to say. They cover it very well. So let's read a few of them saying, "Dude, we're trying, but there's this weird company that gets hired to make games unlikable. The weird cult you joined tried horning in on our territory. We just wanted to play video games in peace." Weird cult, says the guy who feels morally obligated to have Black Lives Matter and trans rights or human rights in their bio, or else. Good observation. You should try that. I'm not playing the games you have a hand in. Yeah, like I said, this pretty much sums up the responses people are having to this tweet. But looking at this individual further, the memes and jokes just write themselves. But he has this picture here showing his participation with Rocksteady and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, the funny thing about this picture is the fact that he's standing in front of a shelf full of Suicide Squad games, and it doesn't seem like a single copy has been purchased, which is really reflective of the sales because it's been an absolute disaster. In fact, Warner Brothers has come out and basically said if we were a lesser company, we would be going under as a result of how badly this game is underperformed.
You know, let me also actually give my take, or, well, explain as to why it's so bad. You're basically given 5 enemies to attack, like 5. This is all from Angry Joe. 5 enemies, 5 mission types. Stay with me here. Everyone is limited to specific weapons that they can only use. So you can't literally have anyone using this gun, this sniper, this SMG, this rifle, this pistol, or whatever. Apparently other people within DC or Marvel, or no, just DC universe having their own guns, like the TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Bizarro Superman. I never knew him using gun, or I never knew that he used guns. Kingpin, or not Kingpin, God, what were the other ones? Oh man, there were so many different villains or heroes that had their own gun. And even then, I never knew them to use guns. I always see them using more of melee combat. Like actual fists or blades or anything melee-wise. But, I guess not. We're just gonna say they did in this universe. 5 bosses, but even then, when you're going up against Brainiac, number 5, after you kill all 4 others, which are downright bad boss fights, they're really bad and repetitive and just so annoying. The first ever Brainiac, it's literally the Flash again. So you're literally fighting Flash, what, 2? 3 times? Is that it? Like, how bad, how just awful can you fucking get? And even then, there's, what, 14, 13 others? Oh, excuse me once more. Okay, yeah, I actually did find it. I did find it, and it was also 14, or no, 13 Brainiacs. And you're gonna have to wait season by season until they're all dead. But even then, I doubt it's going to last any longer with how awful and just shitty it is. And these different weapons. Yeah, you got Bizarro, Superman, Black Mask, Heatwave, Hugo Strange, the Turtles, Two-Face, Jinx. The only Jinx I know is from Teen Titans, but even then, never heard of this one. Merlin, Bane. And you got Bane's Rage, Wrath, and Fury. Sure, Bane, the biggest man, or the biggest villain with Batman, who is well known for using guns. Gee, I thought that Bane was well known for using his huge as fuck muscles and fists. And it really loses its touch. It just does. And I'm pretty sure there's like, what, over 20? Or there's a maximum of 20 infamy levels? And each one is the same damn thing of missions? The same 3... Sorry about that. But the same damn missions for what you have to do for each and every single infamy level. Pretty sure it's the same thing. Let's carry on.
But going forward, if you remember from my video a few days ago, my second video about Sweet Baby Inc., we have this Del Walker individual who was an employee at Rocksteady, the company behind Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. And in a lot of his tweets, he has emphasized over and over again that Sweet Baby Inc. was barely involved, that they only did some of the script dialogue, which, by the way, is a huge part of a video game. I don't know what this guy's trying to say.
Huge part.
But this narrative that he's been trying to express over the past couple of weeks.
My mistake. I just realized I still had it. I still had it focused on me. My bad.
Is that Sweet Baby Inc. didn't affect much with the game itself, that they didn't really have a big part. Well, that is directly contradicted by this long thread made by Grant K. Roberts talking about how involved Sweet Baby Inc. was with this game. So let's read this thread. It says, when I started at Rocksteady, I joined a 3-person writing team as the lead. 2 of those 3 people were credited in shipping game. 1 asked to be removed. Together, we cast most of the game and wrote nearly all of the cutscenes over the next year. By the end of 2019, we needed more writers to handle the other tens of thousands of lines of dialogue in the game. So Kim, the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., and Meredith joined, completing a murderer's row of writers and DC fans. Murderer's row being very appropriate because they literally murdered this game.
They did.
But then they say this, Ben, Charles, Meredith, Kim, Amy Lee, and I worked together for the next 2 years, writing much of the text and voice dialogue that shipped with the game last week. He goes on to say, more writers from Sweet Baby came aboard after that, doing one of the things they do best, writing awesome in-game dialogue. That's how it usually works in this business, whether you're a full-time employee in the narrative discipline.
Awesome in-game dialogue? Yeah, I don't think so. The dialogue with that game is subpar to absolute trash. Completely awful dialogue. I'm sorry, it's just very bad dialogue.
A short-term contract or a freelance company, writers are rarely the ones who make big decisions in the game's development, right after he talked about how big of an impact that they had on this game. But then he goes on to say, that's what it was like for us at Bungie almost 10 years ago when it was time to craft the Destiny 2 campaign. Didn't decide the big beats alone. We worked together with art, design, and others to make something great. So there's a lot to take away here. Number one, they're basically confirming that they've had a big part in the dialogue and other aspects of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. But this guy also confirms that he's been in this industry for at least the last 10 years, which a lot of people mark as a time where the quality of video games has steadily decreased because of a lot of woke nonsense getting into the games.
Yep.
Geez, it's really starting to line up, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen?
It is.
But moving
it's
forward,
really
there's
lining
nothing
up.
more poetic than the state of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, only having a few hundred in-game players at a time. Meanwhile, the Steam group dedicated to tracking Sweet Baby Inc. related games is over 100,000 followers and thousands of active users at any given moment. But moving forward, a lot of people have had this question over the last couple of days. This user saying, if 80% of the games that were complete flops because of the cooperation with Sweet Baby Inc., why do gaming companies still continue to work with this company? Now, I've heard a couple of different explanations from people who are in the industry, and there's really two things that I've noticed the most, and they can both be true at the same time. Number one, this is the result of a grift, because a lot of the people involved with Sweet Baby Inc. were involved with Gamergate and that grift. So basically, they have managed to convince these companies that they need to hire Sweet Baby Inc. And that's one of the reasons this might have happened. But the other reason that could also be true at the same time is that these companies get financial incentives and financial cutbacks.
Yeah, when you're seeing me doing this, they want that money. They want that sweet, sweet dinero. They want that sweet green on their hands. They want that money.
For hiring companies like Sweet Baby Inc. And that's a very likely reality in this situation. And I think, like I said, both of these things I just mentioned can be true. But it also begs the question, how much of a break are they getting by hiring Sweet Baby Inc. when the games are underperforming this bad? It can't balance out. There's just no way. There has to be some breaking point with all this stuff. But maybe we'll see it with all the attention on Sweet Baby Inc. right now. But returning to this user, Felix at Home at Lego Butts. This is someone we talked about in both of the previous videos. We have some updates regarding this person today, because this is a person not only who's an employee of Sweet Baby Inc., they've also have ties with Gamergate, Zoe Quinn, other people from way back in 2014. Now, they had this tweet to say on the 1st. Really lovely messages from folks, and I want to say that I'm grateful. Earlier I said nothing has changed since 2014, but that's not true. A lot more people are able to speak up and show support, and I'm still pretty happy to be in this industry despite the misinformation issue. Interesting how people don't change from 2014 is a funny narrative to say when this person led the harassment campaign against the Steam group, but also people have been sharing a lot of controversial tweets that this Lego Butts individual has made over the years, all the way up until a few weeks ago, which here is a mission statement from the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc. More narratives just obsessed with white males in the gaming industry and gamers in general. But here's some tweets from, like I said, way back many years ago, all the way up until a few weeks ago, made by this Lego Butts individual, all about white people. This one saying, "Pay me to shoot down your white male lead game ideas. I usually get grossed out when straight white rich people kiss, but even I thought those two were pretty cute. I just had a thought about trying this again with a photo of a young white person about to be ripped open, but I'm getting folks would immediately flag it as traumatic, and I'm guessing the image would get taken down before responses accumulated." And then this one saying, "Had a nightmare that I was a white male gamer." Interesting comments. Well, those aren't the only ones, because apparently this Gamergate supporter also really likes...
Oh my god, wow. This man's really using that. Oh. You see what I meant when I said to remember this guy's name? Lego Butts? Remember what I said the first time? Here we are. Oh, wow. Wow. He's really going this far. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is really something.
gamer words, because you can see from these now deleted tweets on their page, this user has used the hard R. They've said homophobic slurs. They've also said some anti-Semitic remarks down here. And like I said, these have been deleted. But a lot of people are going to Sweet Baby Inc. and saying, "Hey, is this the person that your company hires for your inclusive and diverse environment that you're trying to create?" And a lot of people will point out that, yeah, a lot of those tweets that we just mentioned, the deleted ones, are from back in like 2013, 2014. And the vast majority of the time, I wouldn't care about something from that far back because, you know, people change. But with Sweet Baby Inc., we all know they wouldn't give a pass to one of their enemies if they had the same situation. If some, you know, white male gamer had words like that on their page from back in 2014, people at Sweet Baby Inc. would not give them a pass just because time has gone on. Also, as someone who is so involved with this woke progressive narrative that they're trying to share, the fact that this employee doesn't curate their own account of this stuff is baffling. And the fact that these tweets have been discovered by people as many as a few days ago, but they were only deleted yesterday, shows me that they were aware that these tweets were up and waited for at least a day or two before they decided to take it down when the whole internet was collectively crashing in on Sweet Baby Inc. And it seems only like the pressure applied to them made them delete these old tweets. But moving on, we talked about in the last video that there is a lot of interesting comments in the Steam group, the Sweet Baby Inc. detector page. A lot of people trying to attack the group, calling them racist for making this group, and that video games are not for right-wingers. We read some of these comments. Well, there's some more very interesting ones pointed out by this user saying, newsflash.
Really?
There is a Sweet Baby Inc. employee with the name of Tiff Yanni, and she is just as racist as SBI workers. Here's the evidence. And here is a screenshot of what they said, and it is wild. So they begin by saying that they are a salaried staff member employed at Sweet Baby Inc. And they say that they will not give any sort of personal info as it's irrelevant to this discussion, and they don't want to get doxxed in hate threats and things like that. Well, they go on to continue to say some very interesting things and basically say, hey guys, let's calm down, where they say we are solicited for service by companies who are requesting our services. We do not solicit or use tactics of any kind to increase clientele. Any evidence or any advice, narrative, writing, representation, development, etc., is provided exactly or as close to exact as the company demands as per the contract. We do not go above and beyond to ruin your game. We perform a specific service and are rewarded monetarily. This is called a company. Well, basically this attempt to throw these gaming companies under the bus just confirms that, yeah, okay, so you have this woke nonsense, and these companies also want to have this woke nonsense. That's not good. It's making all the parties look bad.
It
and they're
is.
all responsible for ruining these games because they're not blind to what companies like Sweet Baby Inc. want to do with their games. They're clearly okay with this and allowing it because they think it's a good idea, whether it's they foolishly think it's a good thing financially or they're just doing it for their own personal agenda. It's clearly happening. But continuing on, things just get so much worse. So right here it says, now let me tell you this. Every single AAA game that has come out in the past 10 years has used such a service as ours. Again, not good. 10 years ago marks the exact time period a lot of people believe the video game industry started to crash because of the quality of the games being released.
Exactly.
But moving forward, now with that last sentence in the above paragraph in mind, what are you going to do now that you know this information? Not buy any new games at all? Are you going to shrug your shoulders and buy new AAA games that are only kind of diverse or only have a few women in the main plot? Here's the thing.
Well, to me, I would buy a game if it's good. If it's going to be having such terrible writing as to what Sweet Baby Inc. has already done for multiple games that have already flopped, then no, I'm not going to be buying that. If it's going to be having some good story, good dialogue, very interesting characters, then I will get it. But even then, if it's going to be having terrible writing and story, dialogue, and whatnot, I'm not getting it. If it's going to be a complete snore fest, then no, I don't want to waste my time with that. Like with, oh, what should I use for a very interesting example for a very interesting story? How about we go with Project Moon's games of Lobotomy Corporation, Library of Ruina, and Limbus Company. They all have a very interesting story. They all have very unique characters throughout each game. And even then, they are good. They show their story. They give character development. It's amazing as to what all three games can show. But even then, when I see the remaster of Saints Row, I absolutely do not want to play it. I would rather rip out my ears and gouge out my eyes and play that game, even if I was forced to. There's no way in hell I would play that remaster of the first Saints Row. I would not play it. But if I did and gave my own honest review, oh boy, prepare to hear me shit on that game oh so much. Just prepare for it when it happens, if I even do it.
Taking a solid guess that the overwhelming majority of humans here are whites. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that in essence, but look at it this way. Here in this group, and people who support this group, are extremely overwhelmingly white males who have a patriarchal and racist view of the world. Some of you may not be Nazis. Some of you may hate Nazis. Some of you may hate women. Some of you may respect women. I can provide an infinite number of examples that will waste both of our times and not really get anywhere.
You really deserve to be
Here's
clowned
the main
on, I
point
swear.
I've been building up to. We live in 2024. The times have changed. This is no longer 1999, where gaming was full of overweight, smelly white nerds who couldn't get a girlfriend.
Wow.
Rejection. Who, upon seeing
Wow.
the changing demographics in their countries, lashed out consciously and unconsciously throughout their favorite medium of escapism from reality, video games. As said, it's 2024. Gaming and the internet in general is no longer niche. Developers no longer have to use outdated racist and sexist modems to appeal to the target demographic of the 1999 crowd.
Really? Really? Wow, is that what this person really thinks? Holy shit. Oh my god. This is what people think that gamers are living like. Holy shit. You know, with the vast variety of characters I can play as in my last stand Aftermath, or, you know, being able to play Hyperdimension Neptunia, a full female cast of protagonists, or, Fallout, where I can actually play as a woman, and where Fallout 3, more specifically 3, it's best that you play as a woman because the majority of enemies you will fight are men. But even then, do I have a problem with it? No, not really. I mean, Fear 2, or no, not Fear 2, but Fear and Hunger 2, you have female characters you can play as, and even then, those are good games. You got the entirety of Touhou, where it's all a variety of female cast that you can play as, especially with the fan games. And even then, I love Touhou. I love that game. I love that game series. But this right here, this is what we're all listening to. This is some bullshit. This is some fat crocks of shit right here.
Let me say it again in a different way. Gaming is no longer just for you. There are other people in this world that want to play video games and enjoy other sources, such sources of entertainment. If you do not want to buy a game because it has a black, indigenous person of color, or woman, or a female main character, that's okay. It's your money. Do what you want. This is a free country, but maybe use some empathy and think that you are now a minority in this sphere. There are millions upon millions of women and black, indigenous people of color people who want to buy video games and who want to be represented. They want different stories that they can relate to. The white man / men killing people and taking advantage of women games are a long dead trope that only developers on their last limbs do, as market research has shown white males of patriarchal nature are devoutly fanatic and will quickly shell out large amounts of money if a game appeals to their base desires. Anyways,
God.
I've said what I've wanted to say. I've let it out. I might reply to comments that provide genuine points of interest and aren't angry white cavemen ego grunting.
Oh my god. Oh, oh my god. Is this really what... Is this person really thinking... really saying this? Is this what this person really thinks that what most gamers are? Wow. Oh my god. They deserve to be shit on so much from this comment alone, or this post that they made. Oh my god. This is some huge and serious bullshit. Wow. Oh my god, that is just awful. That is so awful. Might reply to comments that provide genuine points of interest and aren't angry white cavemen ego grunting. Holy shit. That's a bad... No. No, that's just bad in general. It's bad.
If you somehow manage to track my name down or whatever, I don't regret writing this. And even if this post is deleted, my views are the same. I hope in these writings, some glimmer of hope can come upon you downtrodden, middle-aged white men. Holy moly, this person is not okay.
No, they're not.
Let me just make this very clear. This
No,
person
they're
is
not.
not okay. If you are this obsessed with this boogeyman you've created in your mind, you are not doing well.
Nah, I'd say get that person into a mental hospital and get them checked out, please. There is something not right with them. That's not right. That's no good.
This is a scathing, racist set of comments against many different groups of people with an outlandish concept of what gamers want and what gaming is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
There's really nothing you need to counter with to understand how blatantly wrong and inflammatory this post is. And if this really is a Sweet Baby Inc. employee, this speaks volumes to the problems within that company and the problems faced in the gaming industry over the past decade. But of course, this is becoming a bit of a game on the Steam page, where now we see comments like this saying Sweet Baby Inc. makes the world a better place. And we can play the game.
What?
Is this a Sweet Baby Inc. employee, a simp, or a troll? We don't really know. But until we find further information about some of these people, there's always that chance. But yeah, it's not looking good. And the comments of this post, you can pause and read for yourself. This one.
Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and read through this. I'll gladly read through this. Sweet Baby Inc. makes the world a better place. Sweet Baby is one of the many companies that make the world a better place by shaping and changing the narratives in video game media to make it more true to life and unproblematic. That's not what we want to see. Genuinely, that is not what we want to see. No. Just no. Flat out, no. If anyone agrees, leave it down in the comments. I want to see what you all think. I want to hear your voice. You guys are acting like representation is a bad thing. Minorities and women deserve a place in video game narratives too, because we live in a diverse world after all, and you just have to suck it up, Buttercup. We're here to stay. Well, you know, like I mentioned with Lobotomy Corporation and Limbus Company, you're mainly having to deal with Angela. Now, for those who do know about Lobotomy Corporation and Library of Ruina, then you'll know what I mean by that. For those that don't, please do stick around while I get through the entirety of Lobotomy Corporation and then moving onwards to Library of Ruina. I am going to hate having to start all over again. I swear I hate it. But nonetheless, I must strive onward. I must do what I can. Anyways, moving on. We want the girls and boys of the world, no matter what color, to be inspired by the stories that are presented via video games. The companies that make these games hire Sweet Baby because they know there is something missing in their story's narrative. Something that feels not quite right. Be it no diversity or misogynistic writing. Someone, please help me here. What recent games have had no diversity or misogynistic writing? Oh wait, someone, please tell me. Please do let me know. Where have there ever been a game that does not feel right with no diversity or misogynistic writing? Someone please let me know down in the comments if there even is any games in the past 4 to 5 years. Someone please help me out here. I am glad this company exists because it serves a great duty in correcting the subtle or not so subtle immoral, racist, or misogynistic stories. Huh? This doesn't just go for video games either. There are companies that help with shaping the narrative in other types of media. Stories are important, as they should be. People take inspiration from them, and they stick in the minds of many, be it subconsciously or consciously. It is the duty of companies like Sweet Baby to make sure the children of today grow up surrounded by correct narratives more closely resembling the real world by being inclusive and diverse. Let me stop you right there. Let me just stop you right there, because I'm pretty sure this is not what gamers would want. so that they become good and loving adults of tomorrow. If I have kids, I am going to be showing them all the games that I that I enjoyed and had a fun time playing. All the games that I love, not what these people are making. Or having a hand in making. If I'm having kids, I'm going to be showing them the games I played, what I had fun with. And I'm pretty sure anyone else would do the same. And it would also be done through either console on my PC or, biggest by far, emulation. If you disagree, you simply have no heart. For reading all these posts and comments, it's clear you have a certain red hat proudly hanging in your wardrobe. MAGA? He's talking about MAGA, Make America Great Again. Well, I certainly have a red hat, but it's certainly not that one. It's a baseball team. Yep. Yeah, hang on. Let me actually get it. Yeah. Yeah. These. So yeah, that person is literally spewing shit out of their ass, and I really want to say I really want to say it's on the line of Sweet Baby Inc. employee or a simp. Either one of those two, I really want to say. I really want to lean more on Sweet Baby Inc. employee. But if it's not, someone let me know down in the comments what you really think it is. I want to know. Do you think it's an employee, simp, or troll?
Just goofy. And of the last one, reflect a lot of the very public attitudes that have been attached to Sweet Baby Inc. employees and their supporters. So as a result of discovering Sweet Baby Inc.'s connection to the industry, a lot of people are doing their own research to find out other games that are connected to this company, and this user has discovered that Xbox's Fable reboot is also a company connected to Sweet Baby Inc.
Oh yes, let me go back. Oh god, that terrible, terrible looking face. Oh god, so many people were clowning on that reboot trailer. Oh my god, it looks awful. It looks so, so awful. Dear God, it's awful. Oh, man.
As you can see right here on their page, Sweet Baby Inc. listed under the production companies, and ask yourself, is that very surprising?
This is really gonna kill Fable's remaster. Oh god, or reboot, whatever you want to call it. It's really gonna kill it. Knowing that Sweet Baby's part of it, it's really gonna kill this game.
Okay, Western Man, which way? This way? Or this way?
I'd rather have that. Because at least the people that are making this game, Stellar Blade, they're not going to be part of the other games that had already flopped. This game I would definitely see as a big success.
There's a reason why people are rallying behind games like Stellar Blade so hard. And it's not just the white man that the previous post was talking about. It's a lot of gamers across all kinds of walks of life. Because they want this and not this woke garbage that Sweet Baby Inc. is contributing towards. But yes, this has gotten so far out of control that people even loosely tied or even suspected of working with Sweet Baby Inc. are feeling compelled to come forward and make sure that people are not associating them with this company. And that includes one of the developers behind Starfield, because a lot of people are starting to look in this way and say, hey, maybe the failure of Starfield is connected to Sweet Baby Inc., where, of course, this guy comes out and says, for the record, Starfield was developed by the most wonderfully diverse team I have ever worked with. Old, young, female, male, non-binary, cis, trans, black, white, and every color in between. If Starfield feels diverse to you, that's the reason. The future equals hope for everyone. So they're trying to dispel any sort of a connection between their company and Sweet Baby Inc. while describing themselves exactly like the mission statement of Sweet Baby Inc. Yeah, not a good tactic. But now there's also a lot of accounts that are tracking future involvement with Sweet Baby Inc., including these companies that allegedly...
Okay, so upcoming games with Sweet Baby Inc. involved. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I never knew that there was going to be any more Indiana Jones games. I never knew there was going to be any made. I already knew that the recent movie of Indiana Jones already flopped so bad. Wolverine, I was really hoping to see a new Wolverine game, but I doubt it's going to be doing any good. Assassin's Creed, Codename Red, Fable, South of Midnight, Contraband, Usual June, as we did see from the previous video. Oh, God.
Are going to be involved with Sweet Baby Inc. You can pause and look for yourself. A pretty important list of games, and some of them would not be surprising based on the ones that Sweet Baby Inc. has already worked with, but that's the situation right now. This is a PR nightmare. It's actually like Niji Sanji management levels of a PR nightmare, and it's that bad.
It's really
Sweet
bad.
Baby Inc. is really, it's sinking right now. And how these companies respond to this very public outcry against Sweet Baby Inc. and anything that they're involved with, who knows? Who knows how they're going to respond? If they actually care about their bottom dollar, or God forbid, care about the gamers they're making these products for, maybe they will learn something from the situation. But I also doubt this is the end, because Sweet Baby Inc. continues to make it worse for themselves. And if they do, I'll be first there to cover it and share any sort of updates with you guys. But that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was a long one.
Oh, man. This... Oh, wow. This has been quite the interesting video to go over all three of Rev's videos about Sweet Baby Inc. Oh, my God. They are literally in a world of shit right now. But, yeah. This is something that I've been wanting to cover for some time and look over, because Sweet Baby Inc. literally killed off Kevin Conroy's Batman's last performance with the awful and just shitty game of Justice League, or Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. And even then, with all the other games they're going to be having a hand in, there's going to be even more flops. Game companies are going to be losing more money because of this shit happening. And this is something that many people are going to be seeing. Just games that they wanted to see succeed just become nothing but flops. Absolute nothing but flop after flop. But this is gonna be where things have to be. Rev, thank you for making all these 3 videos. Keep up the great work, man. Keep it up. Oh, man. I'll leave a link to his channel down below, along to the videos as well. But I hope that you all did enjoy this interesting video of me looking through all 3 of these. His interesting trilogy on Sweet Baby Inc. But yeah, this is gonna end things here for now. So I hope you did all enjoy this. If you did, be sure to like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the notification bell, share this with your friends. If you didn't like it, then of course dislike if you didn't. But I will see all of you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Peace out.